I'm Heather Love, and I'm here today with Candace Love, who is also my mother-in-law. But she is a life coach, and she has 6 adult children. And going through different seasons of life, she has learned these meditation hacks. And as a new mom, I know I've struggled with anxiety, stress, frustration, being exhausted. So I'm excited to hear about how to meditate on the go, and thank you for being with us today.
Hi, my love, Heather. Same last name.
Yes, I love our last name. Thank you for that.
Best gift you got from my son.
Yes.
Your last name.
I guess first off, how did you start meditating?
I probably didn't even know I was meditating at first. And as I was raising the 6 children over the years, I became more aware of needing to have some easy ways to de-stress at times. So when I started calling it meditating was long after I was actually using some of these hacks to calm myself and to stay even and focused on the purpose of raising these children that I was so thankful to have without letting the stresses that sometimes arose become stronger or take front attention. I literally learned how to stay joyful by using some hacks when I was tempted to.
Yeah, no, I felt like that often. What does this meditation look like?
Well, it comes first of all from some kind of thinking, and I would say it first starts with having an intention. And an intention means I'm willing, not I expect. So, I would wake up in a day planning the day to go or hoping the day would go a certain way. And sometimes it didn't go that way at all. Or I only got maybe a quarter of the things I thought I would get done. Mm-hmm. However, when I had an intention and I would say, I am willing to be joyful, or I am willing to go for these end goals without judging myself if I can't reach them, I was right at that moment setting up my mind to self-correct when the emotions arose of frustration, when I could tell I was getting stuck in the mud due to things that just come up when you're raising children. First of all, I would say it comes down to intention. Today, I am willing, and then ... filling in that blank for yourself. Sometimes I would write it on a 3x5 card. And that helped me stay out of, today I expect to have all the laundry done, clean, folded, put away. I expect to have a cooked dinner with the house clean before my husband got home because I was a stay-at-home mom. And I expect the kids to take their naps at these times and these times without fail. Those are what I call expectations. And there's some of those things that it's nice if they happen, but more often than not, they're not going to go exactly like that.
Right. So if you're in the busy of just a crazy moment, what are some of these easy tips you can do to just kind of calm the mind and body?
So knowing that I have an intention for the day instead of an expectation, one of the things I love to do is breathe. Well, I know that meditators talk about breathing. They'll say sit down and breathe, count to 4, hold 4, let it go 4, breathe out for 4, or sit down for 10 minutes. Some people meditate for hours, actually. I doubt that you do or have time for that. Most moms don't, and I don't.
Sounds amazing, but yeah, unless I want to wake up at 2 a.m., don't have time for that.
Yeah. So I have found that just knowing that my intention is that I am willing to have interruptions. That's basically, these are my goals, but I am willing to allow for how life unfolds that day. Because life will unfold, and there are things that trying to control them will cause stress. The hormones will start racing through your body. So I would do something, but instead of just counting, I like to breathe in saying, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. And the purpose of that little meditation completely takes me out of my thinking mind that is racing with thoughts, or the adrenaline I can feel rushing through my body, or the stress hormones. I'm not even sure what they're called because that's not my specialty, but I can feel them sometimes where I could. And sometimes even now with other situations, that would immediately bring me back to right where I am, awareness of the present moment. And I then was no longer thinking about what was causing me to think I was stressed. And I know that when I say I think I was stressed, if we tell ourselves that something is difficult and stressful, it becomes more stressful and difficult. Mm-hmm. So for me, I learned that if I would say to myself, I am feeling this, however, I am willing to face life as it comes because I'm so thankful to have these children. So breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. And when I smile, in that breath out, saying that, whatever is in front of my eyesight, I am embracing it. I'm no longer resisting the crying child that woke up too early from their nap, the clothes that aren't folded. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. That is my favorite, quick, I don't even think it takes 30 seconds to do that. And sometimes I still will just drive and I will just do maybe 10 of those. So that's one hack that I like a lot. You can make up your own words. I have found this one to be extremely effective. I have used it and loved it for quite a while.
Yeah, and I found breathing to be so effective as well. I know I often, if I'm feeling stressed, I'll breathe in for 4, pause for 4, and then breathe out for 4.
So you do the 4-4-4.
Yeah, and I know that's some type of breathing technique, and it has helped. It has been so effective.
So I think, are you thinking that when you're doing that, you stop thinking the stressful thoughts and you're just counting? So
yeah, I think often my mind will blow something out of proportion because our mind loves to do that. And then my breathing will start to like race, and I just need to kind of calm my mind, calm my breathing, and it's like, it's not a big deal. My mind just made it a big deal.
Wow, that's good.
Now, is this something that you find yourself doing daily or just sporadically, or I guess just anytime something comes up?
I actually try to practice it and remind myself to practice it every day. However, there are days that I can have a day that is just busy, or I actually just forget for some reason. It's interesting. My mind is on other things. And I will get well into the day and go, oh my goodness, because it's literally like taking a spa break for the mind. And you do it in 30 seconds. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to do that. It feels so good. It feels good on the inside. So I probably do it every day, most days. And when I start it early rather than later, I remember to do it. I try to do it 10 to 12 times a day. That is my little recipe for myself because it doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just do it on a 10, 15-minute drive off and on, and then I smile in between, and I'm driving, I'm looking, it causes me to notice the scenery, and then I'll say it again. Because when I say those words, breathing in, I calm my body. Literally, my body calms down, I can feel it. And when I say breathing out, I smile, it's like I have stopped resisting. When I say breathing out, I smile, it's like whatever's in front of me. It could be a cute little kid riding a bicycle, I notice it. It could be the beautiful rain falling, cloudy skies, but I notice it and I'm like aware, and I come back to life. I'm not just sleepwalking kind of through my day.
Right. I think it helps you live in the moment and appreciate
Totally.
every day instead of like living fast forward and worrying about something that hasn't even come and probably won't even happen. And I think especially in today's world, and it's so fast paced. Like I know for years I was living in like basically chronic stress, just worrying about so many things, and it didn't need to be that way.
You know, it's that saying that I like to say so much, that life will always be lifing. And I know that no matter what age you are and what stage in life you are. Obviously, you're a mom, which I think she's a fabulous mom, by the way. But, you know, judging yourself doesn't help either with, stress. So I would say take the labels off. That's part of not having expectations. And being willing to know that I'm not large and in charge. I mean, I'm able to, I have a circle of influence and a circle of concern. That's something that also has helped me many times through the years. My circle of concern could include the whole world. We watch the news, we hear about things we cannot control in our own country, even our own town. In our own little social circles, we might hear about things that we want to have an opinion on that causes us stress.
And taking all that in, I think, can be so toxic. Like, I know I definitely have to distance myself from the news often because I'll take on like the worries of the world. Like,
So
like I think I can fix it all or something. It's so silly.
Right. And then, but my circle of influence is, I want there to be peace on earth, but I'm not willing to make peace with my neighbor or to have peaceful conversation with my husband over something that is literally driving me bonkers.
Yeah.
Peace begins in me. And trying to be concerned about things that are in my circle of concern is having expectation. But having the willingness to work in what I actually influence, which is, first of all, myself. Can I be peaceful within myself? Choose peace. I always like that. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin in me. And then have a peaceful conversation with my husband. And if I see that I'm triggering him on purpose because I'm tired or I'm hurt or he's been like a guy can be sometimes, broadening my mindset to be, let me be peaceful. I'm not going to. And then with your children, let peace begin in me. Am I going to respond in kind to this child? I feel like it. And sometimes you may do something or say something a little bit sharper than you would like or a lot sharper. But catching yourself, being aware and go, and that little saying, which is a song and a saying, let there be peace. Peace of mind is really the goal. Because what people think they want in life many times is money, enough time, enough help. What we all want is happiness, but we don't even know what happiness is. If you really break it down, happiness is peace of mind. Happiness doesn't mean pleasure all the time. You can have pain going on, something painful, because life brings life. And you can still have peace of mind because you're not blaming, you're not shaming, you're not guilting, you're not having expectations on outcome, and you're not letting yourself be anxious. You're letting life be life. And it will unfold. And every stage of life will have different kinds of times when that awareness will help you tremendously. And I have seen it. I have 6 adult children. So I'm in my 60s. My mother and my mother-in-law are still alive, and they're in their 80s. They still have life happening to them. It doesn't stop. You just get stronger, and you understand, and you use the wisdom that you've learned from being a teenager, getting through college, having your first child, now having your second. You're over 7 years of marriage. I mean, you've learned a lot, right? It continues, but it's not like you ever arrive.
Right. That's true. And I think realizing that and just being grateful for the moment you're in and appreciating that, I think that brings so much peace and joy instead of always chasing for something more and more. I know I've been guilty of that so many times.
Yeah, you heard that saying, live life in airtight days, like an airtight container.
I don't think so.
Every day is an airtight. Just live that day.
Okay, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Good. Like a mason jar.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us. I know I've gathered lots of good information of how to just appreciate the moment and breathe through it all and smile on the way out.